Oh, Director
Well,
Laughlin.
I'll respond since I'm the kind of the other player in this scenario, so to speak. So, Director Potacek, I agree with you. We are in a dilemma, and I feel that we are in a dilemma because of your actions in terms of the choices that you made of going to that meeting.
Excuse me. Hang on. Thank you.
Without having the authority of the school board. So last year I ended up being at AMSD, but before I had any official clarity on that, I would never have gone and gotten myself elected. So that, I think, is where I'm wrestling. It's did the board members of 916 know that you had not been there in official capacity? Because I think that also alters the election. I think that's a fair question. So do you know? Did you let them know?
Sure. And Paula, the point is that it's hard to synchronize 14 different districts. They purposely, normally, they meet in the first part of January, but not all boards work simultaneously, so it's different timelines. Right. And if I may, and so I felt at that point the district needed representation for the election, whether it's me or whether it's anybody else.
So I really feel that, Director Potacek, I'm in a no-win situation, because if I don't cede, it looks like I'm trying to pull rank or, bully you, as others have suggested, which is not the case at all. My first and foremost interest is what is going to be in the best interest of our district and our students.
I agree.
Bar none. Nothing even comes close to a second. That being said, I think that it again, I think in the process, it just seems a due process was not followed. That if you went there, even just giving the board or Tom a heads up saying, I'm going there, I'm going to throw my hat in for a ring, or I accepted,
Tom
and letting us all know, because now, like I said, I'm in a situation where, that because I also wanted to learn and grow and be part of that collaborative, and I think that's an opportunity that should be afforded to all of us. I think that, so I agree with you. We are in a dilemma, and I feel that, I'm kind of a no-win situation. So I'm not sure what you're expecting me to do.
All right.
Well, no, to be honest, I just want to reflect a little bit on the earlier conversation. I appreciate that Director Potacek spoke his truth. I felt that I did as mine. I feel that that is what is going to help move our board forward when we can be really honest with one another. So, Mike, I respect your point about gender equity. As you know, as someone who's deeply committed to the work of equity, that's something that is important to me. I did not know that, so I appreciate that. As I stated earlier, the number one concern truly is the welfare of our students, and I don't take lightly that it may seem embarrassing or face-saving, if you will, for you to have to go back to the board. I stand by my assertion that I think we're all in a no-win situation. I think this was just a confluence of events that could have been avoided with different actions that proceeded. That being said, my desire to learn and grow in my own professional and personal development of 916 is does not trump what I think is best for our students. And if the continuity for Dr. Hayes and the other board members, and if the board members truly did know that you were elected with the knowing that you weren't yet a delegate, I can respect that. And I know you had contacted me earlier. I was traveling most of the day, so I didn't get to respond. So I haven't had a lot of time to process or flesh this out. So I guess what I'm saying is that if serving on 916 is something that you would still like to do, I think it's in the best interest of our students to for me to seed that. We can have that conversation. I appreciate Chair Lehman's leadership. This is not at all meant to undermine his decision. I know that he had left that up to us. But like I said, I stand by my assertion and my truth that I think that this was just an unfortunate display of discussion that could have been avoided. However, you were elected chair by your colleagues at 916, and if that's something that you would wanted to continue to do, I'd be happy to cede that to you.
Can I respond, Tom?
Absolutely.
First of all, let's do this. You think about it overnight. And I regard your offer as very, very generous, and I'm very, very grateful. But like you said, and when you answered my email, you said, hey, I just got off an airplane. And so I know the wear and tear that might be. So I want you to feel tomorrow that's still the way I think. And quite honestly, if you put the offer out there, I'm willing to take it, as well as my offer that if you look at any of the other assignments I have that would be attractive in its place, you're certainly welcome to those consideration for Tom, because he did to make the final call. But I ask you, or rather I thank you for making that very generous offer.
No, I'm confident that I'm of clear mind to regardless, despite the long travel. So I think that, again, for the sake of our students and for the continuity, that is in the best interest of our kids.
Thank you.